Hello and welcome to the Gorilla Guide webinar to securing cloud environments. Thank you so much for joining this special Gorilla Guide webisode, as we like to call them. This is going to be a fun Friday event.
So our next presentation comes from phoenixNAP, I'm pleased to welcome William Bell, Executive Vice President of Products.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another ActualTech Media Gorilla Guide webisode. Today, we've got a great presentation entitled Securing Cloud Environments. My name is William Bell, Executive Vice President of Products at phoenixNAP, and hopefully by the end of this webisode, you're going to have some new tools in your tool belt to help you understand how you can take a proactive approach to securing your public and private cloud environments. For those of you that don't know much about phoenixNAP, we've been doing this infrastructure thing for a long time. We started in 2010. We built our first data center operations in Phoenix, Arizona. And over the last 10 and 11 years, we've been expanding our infrastructure platform across the globe and collaborating with some of the best technology leaders in the industry. As you can see, today we have 17 world-class data centers, 11 global network POPs, and we have points of presence in 5 different continents. We're driving massive infrastructure as a service expansion for businesses, and we're helping small businesses understand how they can adopt public cloud in a more secure way. So ultimately, why are you here? Why are you listening to this webisode? And the thing you know is that as you adopt cloud infrastructure, cloud platforms, the cyber crime, ransomware, malware, etc., is moving with you, and they're taking advantage of a lot of the issues that arise from adoption of cloud computing technologies. It's not to say that the public cloud or hybrid cloud is inherently insecure. That's not it at all. It's just complex, and complexity can lead to a lot of issues. And Verizon says that 73% of cybersecurity incidents involve some type of external cloud asset compared to basically 30% a year before. And finally, surpassing the number of on-prem incidents. That's crazy, right? So like, you know now where you need to put your time and effort and focus. And what we're seeing is that as people adopt cloud in a more holistic fashion, you're getting to a point where the criminals are focusing on these platforms and trying to find the errors, right? Most of the things that happen in public cloud, in any type of security vulnerability issue, is some type of human error, whether it's phishing and somebody clicking on a link they shouldn't, or some type of business asset or data set that's stuck somewhere where it shouldn't be, right? It's not to say that you're not doing a lot about security. Internally, you probably are doing everything you can, but it's the things you can't see and you can't control that really hurt you. And so ultimately, we're spending more in cloud, we're spending more in cloud security, and we're still behind the 8 ball when it comes to protecting ourselves from the cyber criminals of the future. Ultimately, when you look at security, I think everyone could agree that there is some type of concern around public cloud security. Some people misattribute that to being cloud is insecure, and that, like I said, that's probably not the case. It's just more that there are inherent cloud issues, right? The proliferation of services, the ability for you to quickly and easily spin up infrastructure, and maybe to some extent bypass governance and compliance and other things, is putting you in a situation, your business in a situation where you find that there are major public cloud adoption security risks. And I think the best part of this slide is that only 57% of the respondents of this survey said that they plan to increase their security budget to deal with these problems. So reading the tea leaves, I think it's only going to get worse from here. Hopefully we can kind of come together as an industry and find our way out of this. But we certainly have a long road to hoe. So let's get into what we think are the biggest issues in cloud security for 2021. I mentioned this earlier. Security and governance and compliance. People that are dealing with highly sensitive data are trying to, collaborate with the needs of the developer and the business unit that wants to go as fast as possible. And that's leading to compromises internally that result in compromises externally. And all this is being truly made worse by the complexities of cloud adoption and the difficulty in transforming your security posture from an on-prem posture to a public cloud adoption posture. And I think we're going to have some solutions to address that, but ultimately those complexities and cloud configuration issues, they lead to big problems. And then finding the right people and retaining the right skills, makes it just so much harder for organizations, because they can't get the right people to help them make the changes that they might want to make. And so when you're looking at what you can do to secure your cloud environment, you need to prepare. Everything at the top of this list is all about preparation. Most of the list is about preparation, right? You have to ensure that you're taking the right steps to protect your organization. That is planning offline, right? In terms of writing documents and procedures and having those policies that help govern your organization, to the technical controls like multi-factor authentication and backups and vulnerability scans and network segmentation. You have to bundle all this together into a solid disaster recovery and incident response plan, and find a way to get reasonable measures to protect your business. And so what can those look like, right? For people, specifically people that are not all in on public cloud, the hyperscalers and the PaaS platforms that they produce, are there ways to consume cloud infrastructure that are more similar to the environment that you might have on-prem? The answer to that is absolutely. And for the last 5 years, phoenixNAP has been building one of the world's most secure cloud infrastructure, starting from the ground up, to ensure that as you adopt cloud, you up your security posture, right? Taking your applications, your frameworks, the way that you operate as a business, and bringing those constructs into a cloud environment. That is possible today, right? Through our partnership with technology providers like Veeam and VMware, we're able to give you an actual migration point that can uplift your business and prevent you from having to take inordinate measures to transform all of your applications. If you want to build new modern microservices applications and you think the public cloud is the best place for that, that's okay. You can do that. You can work with that and some type of traditional cloud environment. But ultimately, one of the worst things that you can do is lift and shift traditional applications to the public cloud. It creates security issues, it creates cost issues, can be a nightmare, right? And so when you look at technologies like our data security cloud environment, you get compliance from the infrastructure built in. You get integrated backups built in. You get endpoint protection built in. You get all of these things and a bevy of other upgrade options that can allow you to really secure your cloud adoption. So I mentioned secure by design, really low overhead, super quick time to value, right? You can make these migrations in days and sometimes weeks, not months or years, right? And you can leverage all of the experience that we've amassed inside of our organization to help you, not replace you, help you adopt cloud in a secure way that's going to be a material to your business and your business agility. So our friends at Veeam are a huge component to these solutions, right? In data security cloud, how do we replicate VMs? How do we back up VMs? Veeam, right? Our customers that are on-prem, that are using Veeam as a solution, have a ton of different capabilities to do backup and disaster recovery in a pay-per-use model that really, help them adopt these constructs that I was talking about earlier quickly and easily. And then for modern SaaS applications, we have managed backup products that take that load off your hands, that allow you to just say, hey, look, back up my SharePoint data, back up my OneDrive data, back up my Teams data, take all that off my hands for backup for Office 365, and we will handle that for you, store the data, and help you with recovery. So together, we have an amazing solution, right? You get to pay for what you use, 24/7 support, super fast cloud adoption, and quick data recovery if you're using our disaster recovery and backup solutions, and a ton of redundancy and region availability. We're replicating data as you need, and we make all of these solutions available to our customers for a really quick and easy adoption for their business. So if you want to get in touch, I'm going to put some details on the next slide. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today in this great ActualTech Media Gorilla Guide webisode on securing cloud environments. I hope everyone has a great day.
All right, great. Thanks, William. And just leave that up there for a second if you want to grab his email address or any of the contact info. And then we will move on to our poll about additional information you might like to have about the phoenixNAP solution. So really interesting stuff there from William about some of the cloud security things that can be this cloud security issues that can be addressed with a phoenixNAP solution, and interesting bits about the Veeam partnership, and good stuff. So if you want to get a data sheet or technical white paper or any of those other elements, please just click in there in the poll, and phoenixNAP will be reaching out to you on those. So for our next portion, we're going to bring back David Davis to moderate a Q&A panel.
William, if there was just one thing that I could do to enhance my security and resiliency for my infrastructure and my cloud applications, what would you suggest?
I mean, I think that this was a really hard question for me to kind of come up with an answer to, because there's so many things that you should be doing to help protect your environment. Ultimately, I think, if you're not backing up your data in a secure and immutable way to make sure that that those backups cannot be destroyed and cannot be manipulated or overridden, I think that's, if you only get to do one thing, I think that's the thing you have to do, right? Because you can focus on configuration compliance, you can focus on all kinds of other capabilities, but ultimately you need to have a clean copy of your data in the event something goes wrong.
Great answer, William. Thank you. Next question. What features of the Data Security Cloud make it a security-focused and compliance-ready solution for my business?
So ultimately, I think that, if you're running VMware on-prem, it makes for the absolute easiest cloud adoption possible on earth, right? Point, click, replicate, adopt. Right? And you can construct all the same networks, technologies, all the things you use on-prem. There's a solution for that in Data Security Cloud. There's a one-to-one mapping that allow you to really easily and quickly adopt Data Security Cloud. And then when you do that, you get, like I mentioned earlier, you get backups included. You get endpoint protection included. You get things like network microsegmentation and NSX included, and a ton of other operations management capabilities. It's feature-packed, ready to go, no hidden fees, no pay per use. Oh, I used a lot of monitoring and therefore I'm going to get hit with a ton of fees. None of that, right? I think that makes it the right place for a lot of specifically SMBs and medium business as they look to adopt some type of cloud environment.
Great advice. Thank you, William. Reliable backup and disaster recovery solutions make my business hack-proof and ransomware-proof. What's your take?
I hesitate to say proof because, nothing's 100% in this world, but ultimately, I think there's a high level of reasonable protection afforded by specifically an immutable or copy of your backups and some type of replication capability that allows you to play back in time the data that you've replicated to the right point prior to a compromise. Those two things together can produce huge levels of resiliency for any business. And I think that it's probably as close as you're ever going to get to being ransomware or hack proof, other than disconnecting all your machines from the internet. So I don't think anybody could do that these days. So we'll go with backups and disaster recovery.
Thank you, William. I appreciate that.
So that does it for today's event. On behalf of the ActualTech media team, thank you for attending this Gorilla Guide webisode, and we hope you have a great weekend.